Good morning, everyone. Today, we are having a case presentation on vocal cord leukoplakia presented by myself, Dr. Nirvika Gupta, under the guidance of Dr. Tarun Oja, sir. I am presenting a case of patient Vikas Kumar, son of Birju Kumar, 42 years old male, residing at Malpura, Rajasthan, a farmer by occupation, coming from middle socioeconomic class. He came to the ENT OPD with a chief complaint of change in voice since past 12 months. Importance of name is for the identification of the patient, for developing rapport with the patient, for maintaining the record of the patient, and it may help in identifying the unknown religion of the patient. The importance of age is that in young people, diphtheria, whooping cough, epiglottitis, and laryngotracheobronchitis are more common, while in elderly, carcinoma of the larynx is more common. The importance of sex is that in males, carcinoma and vocal polyp and nodule are more common, while in female, Rinke's edema is more common. The importance of occupation is that teachers, actors, vendors, singers, and stock traders are more prone for vocal cord polyp and nodule, whereas glass blowers are more prone for laryngocele. Certain occupations cause chronic laryngitis due to exposure to dust, fumes, chemicals, smoke, etc. We look at the modified Kupaswamy classification for the socioeconomic class of the person. Education of the head of the family. If the head of the family has a professional degree, the score is 7. If he is a graduate, the score is 6. Intermediate or diploma, the score is 5. If he is a high school pass out, the score is 4. If he is a middle school pass out, the score is 3. If he is a primary school pass out, the score is 2. And if he is an illiterate, the score is 1. Occupation of the head of the family. If he is a professional, the score is 10. Semi-professional, 6. Clerical or shop or farm worker, the score is 5. If he is a skilled worker, the score is 4. Semi-skilled worker, 3. Unskilled worker, 2. And unemployed, then the score is 1. Total per capita family income per month is rupees 2000 and above, 12,000 to 1999, the score is 10. 750 to 999, the score is 6. 500 to 749, the score is 4. 300 to 499, the score is 3. 101 to 299, the score is 2. And if it is less than rupees 100, the score is 1. So now we look at the total score in socioeconomic class. If the score is between 26 to 29, the person belongs to upper socioeconomic class. 16 to 25, the person belongs to upper middle socioeconomic class. 11 to 15, the person belongs to lower middle socioeconomic class. If the score is between 5 to 10, the person belongs to upper lower socioeconomic class, and if the score is below 5, the person belongs to lower socioeconomic class. Differential diagnosis of change in voice. Hoarseness of voice is one of the commonest disorders seen. Other alterations in voice are those of strength, pitch, tone, and quality. Hoarseness implies the change in quality of voice from harsh, rough, or raspy voice to weak voice. Dysphonia is an all-encompassing term, include any change in voice, increased vocal effort or fatigue, or pain or discomfort with vocal use. Aphonia means no voice or just whispering. Hoarseness is seen in people with vocal abuse like vendors and teachers. Hoarseness is mainly due to laryngeal inflammation, trauma, tumor, or vocal cord mobility disorder. Hoarseness can be due to malignancy. Hysterical females may have functional aphonia. Causes of hoarseness in voice: infectious causes, acute and chronic laryngitis, influenza, exanthematous fever, laryngotracheobronchitis, diphtheria, tuberculosis, syphilis, scleroma. Neoplastic causes: papilloma, hemangioma, chondroma, angiofibroma, fibroma, leukoplakia, vocal nodule, vocal polyp, contact ulcers, or cancers. Traumatic causes: submucosal hemorrhage, laryngeal trauma, foreign bodies, and intubation. Paralytic causes: paralysis of the vagus nerve or its branches, recurrent or superior laryngeal nerve, or both. Fixation of the cords due to arthritis or fixation of cricoarytenoid joints. Congenital causes like cysts, web, and laryngocele. Miscellaneous causes like dysphonia, plica ventricularis, myxedema, and gout. History of the presenting illness. The patient was apparently asymptomatic 12 months back when he developed a complaint of change in voice, which was insidious in onset, gradually progressive in nature, aggravated by whispering and shouting, and relieved by taking rest. The patient also complained burning sensation in the throat and in the epigastrium. No history of fever, dysphagia, difficulty in breathing, cough, hemoptysis, foreign body sensation in the throat, or swelling in the neck was present. Differential diagnosis of the negative history. Change in voice with difficulty in swallowing is seen in carcinoma of larynx, tumors of laryngopharynx. In laryngeal pathology, supraglottic tumors, especially involving the epiglottic folds, produce dysphagia. Odynophagia is seen in neoplasms with secondary infection and in laryngeal tuberculosis. Change of voice with fever is seen in acute and chronic laryngitis. Change in voice with burning sensation in the throat can indicate towards laryngeal irritation due to laryngopharyngeal reflux. Foreign body sensation and blearing of the throat, hawking, is seen in laryngitis, vocal cord polyps, and early malignancy. Change in voice with dyspnea. Stridor is noisy breathing due to obstruction to airflow. Stridor is low-pitched sound produced by obstruction above the level of larynx. It is due to vibration of tissue of oropharynx, nasopharynx, and soft palate. Expiratory obstruction usually produces a wheezing sound during respiration. It can be due to a number of causes like laryngeal or tracheal stenosis, laryngitis, epiglottitis, papillomas, and carcinomas. Swelling in the neck is seen in secondaries in the neck. Neoplasm spreading outside of the larynx and in perichondritis. Change in voice with coughing can be present with allergy, asthma, laryngopharyngeal reflux, GERD, bronchogenic carcinoma. Change in voice with hemoptysis is seen in tuberculosis or bronchogenic carcinoma. Past history, no history of hypertension, diabetes mellitus, TB, asthma, bleeding disorder, blood transfusion, no history of blood transfusion in the past, no history of sexually transmitted diseases, no history of drug allergy, no history of surgery in the past, and no history of similar complaints in the past. Personal history, the patient is vegetarian by diet, has a decreased appetite, bowel and bladder habits are normal, sleep cycle is normal, and does not have any addiction. Family history is not significant. Importance of past history. History of evening rise of temperature, loss of weight, appetite indicate tuberculosis of the larynx. History of blood pressure is a relative contraindication to the surgery. Diabetes mellitus may be associated with chronic laryngitis, and asthma is associated with laryngeal carcinoma. History of sexually transmitted diseases indicate uh, indicate syphilis of larynx, which is rare. History of similar complaints and medical or surgical treatments in the past is associated with recurrence of carcinoma, or history of thyroid or CVS surgeries may be associated with vocal cord paralysis. History of tobacco smoking or chewing is associated with malignancy. General examination, the patient is conscious, cooperative, and well oriented to the time, place, and person. The patient is averagely built and nourished. No pallor, icterus, cyanosis, clubbing, generalized lymphadenopathy, or pedal edema is seen. Vitals, the blood pressure is 130 by 80 mm of Hg in the right brachial artery in sitting position. The pulse is 88 per minute, regular in rhythm, rate, and volume in right radial artery. The respiratory rate is 20 per minute, abdominothoracic type. Temperature, the patient is afebrile by touch. Systemic examination, cardiovascular system, first and second heart sounds present and no murmur heard. Respiratory system, normal vesicular breathing present, bilateral air entry equal, and no additional sounds are heard. Central nervous system examination, higher mental functions are normal, and on per abdomen examination, soft, non-tender, no guarding, no rigidity, no organomegaly. Significance of general examination. General examination is done for proper diagnosis and differential diagnosis, for selecting the patient for anesthesia, to decide the type of surgery to be done, and to predict the prognosis. Mental state. Mental status and level of consciousness should be assessed in general, but in specific clinical situations like head injury, hepatic encephalopathy, septic shock, etc., it is mandatory. Glasgow Coma Scale. Uh, Response to the eye opening: if the eyes open spontaneously, 4 points. If the eyes open to the verbal command, speech or shout, 3 points. If the eyes open to pain, 2 points. If there is no eye opening, 1 point. Verbal responses: if the verbal responses are oriented, 5 points. Confused conversation but able to answer the question, 4 points. Inappropriate responses, words discernible, 3 points. Incomprehensible sounds or speech, 2 points. No verbal response, 1 point. If the patient motor responses, if the patient obeys the command for movement, 6 points. Purposeful movement to painful stimulus, 5 points. Withdraws from pain, 4 points. Abnormal flexion or decorticate posture, 3 points. Extensor response, Decerebrate posture 2 points and no motor response 1 point. Minor brain injury 13 to 15 points. Moderate brain injury has 9 to 12 points, and in severe brain injury the Glasgow Coma scale is 3 to 8 points. GCS in intubated patients. Patients who are intubated are unable to speak. Their verbal score cannot be assessed. They are evaluated only based on eye opening and motor scores, and the suffix T is added to their score to indicate intubation. In intubated patients, the maximum GCS score is 10T and the minimum is 2T. Built-in nutritional status. Built-in nutritional status of the patient is important to be assessed. Built is structural organization of underlying skeleton. It is related to age and sex of the patient. A person is said to be malnourished if the BMI is less than 18.5 or has lost more than 5% of the body weight during the last 3 to 6 months. Infants are said to be malnourished if the weight for height below 3 standard deviation. Visible severe muscle wasting and presence of bipedal edema according to WHO classification. Nutrition is the proportion of soft tissue structures, muscle, soft tissues, and fat in relation to the bony structure. Protein deficiency causes rough skin, brittle hair, and edema of the feet. Fat deficiency causes cachexia, hollow cheeks, and loss of fat in hips, abdomen, and subcutaneous tissues of the elbow. Pallor. Pallor is checked in the lower palpebral conjunctiva, mucous membrane of the lips and cheeks, nail beds, and palmar creases. Causes of pallor are massive bleeding, laryngeal carcinomas, iron deficiency, anemia, Plummer-Vinson syndrome. Icterus. It is due to deposition of bile pigments with excess of it in plasma. It is checked in upper sclera, better seen against white background, by asking the patient to look at his feet and the clinician pulls the upper eyelid upwards. It can also be checked in nail bed, ear lobule, nasal tip, and or under surface of the tongue. Cyanosis. It is due to rise in the level of reduced hemoglobin in the blood, causing blue or purple discoloration in the skin and mucous membrane. A minimum 5 gram per deciliter of reduced hemoglobin should be present in the circulation to cause cyanosis. Peripheral cyanosis is checked in nail bed, palm, toes, tip of the nose, tongue, is not involved in peripheral cyanosis. Central cyanosis is confirmed by checking the tongue, nail bed, palms, and toes. Cyanosis is seen in supraglottic, foreign body, pediatric epiglottitis due to air hunger. Edema. It is collection of fluid in the interstitial spaces or soft tissues. Edema will be clinically evident only when the fluid accumulates more than 5 liters. Pitting on pressure is the cardinal sign of edema. Conditions in ENT with edema are metastatic lymph nodes pressing on the lymphatic in advanced cases of supraglottic, glottic, and subglottic carcinoma. Pulse. Normal pulse rate is 60 to 100 per minute. 5 characters of the pulse to be examined are rate, rhythm, volume, character. Tachycardia is increased pulse rate more than 100 per minute as seen in laryngotracheobronchitis and diphtheria. Bradycardia is decreased pulse rate less than 60 per minute. Blood pressure. Hypertension is persistent raised systolic pressure or diastolic pressure. It is sustained elevation of the systemic arterial pressure. It is a strict contraindication for surgery. Hypotension. In diminished BP, systolic pressure less than 90 mmHg and diastolic pressure less than 60 mmHg. It is seen in cachexia of malignancy, tuberculosis. Respiration. Tachypnea. Respiratory rate more than 20 per minute is rapid breathing seen in laryngotracheobronchitis, metastasis, fever, diphtheria. Gradual deepening of the respiration altering with short periods of apnea is called kind-stroke respiration. Fever. Normal temperature is 36.7 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius, which is 98 to 99 degree Fahrenheit. Average 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. A diurnal variation of 1 degree Celsius is normal. Lowest temperature is during morning 2 to 4 a.m. Highest being in the afternoon. Fever is increased body temperature more than 1 degree Celsius or more than the maximum range. Sites for measuring fever are oral, axillary, and rectal. High-grade fever in cases of larynx is seen in epiglottitis, laryngotracheobronchitis. Types of fever: continuous fever, fever persistent throughout the day and does not fluctuate more than 1 degree Celsius in 24 hours. Remittent fever, fever is above normal throughout the day but there is fluctuation more than 1 degree Celsius in 24 hours. Intermittent fever, temperature is present only few hours a day and reaches to normal whenever develops When fever develops daily, it is called quotidian fever. When fever develops on alternate days, it is called tertian fever. And when it develops every third day, it is called quartan fever. Local examination, larynx examination, external examination, thyroid notch, Adam's apple is observed. It is approximately 90 degrees in males and 120 degrees in females. No cervical swelling is seen and laryngeal crepitus is felt. Indirect laryngoscopy was performed. Base of the tongue was normal. Epiglottis, lingual and laryngeal surface normal, pinkish in color. Bilateral vallecula are normal. True vocal cords, thick, wide, raised area present at the free edge and upper surface of posterior half of the membranous left true vocal cord. Right vocal cord is normal, pearly white in color. Bilateral vocal cords mobile. Normal abduction and adduction seen during phonation and deep inspiration. Bilateral arytenoids, aryepiglottic folds, interarytenoid area, bilateral paliform fossa, post-cricoid area, and glottic chink are normal. Normal indirect laryngoscopy. In this case, leukoplakic patch on the left vocal cord. Differential diagnosis on examination. On inspection, we see the thyroid notch or the Adam's apple. It is 90 degrees in men and 120 degrees in women. An advanced laryngeal carcinoma may distort the shape of Adam's apple. The larynx is inspected for any mass, fullness, fistula, and movements during deglutition and respiration. It gets indrawn during inspiration in laryngeal obstruction. Tracheal obstruction does not produce such changes. Laryngeal framework gets distorted in cases of certain malignancies, inflammatory conditions, and tumors. Palpation. It is done with both hands standing behind the patient. The patient's head should be slightly flexed to relax the neck muscles. The hyoid bone and the thyroid and cricoid cartilages are identified. The cartilages are palpated for thickness, tenderness, and broadening. The thyroid gland lies above the thyroid cartilage from second to third tracheal rings. It is examined for consistency, swelling within tumor or any pulsation. Its movement is examined during deglutition and protrusion of the tongue. A systemic examination of lymph nodes is carried out. Laryngeal crepitus. It is a grating sensation felt during the movement of laryngeal cartilage cricoid laterally side to side against the cervical spine. It is present normally. Absence of this sign, that is Boaka sign, absence of Moore's crackle, is seen and post-cricoid carcinoma and retropharyngeal lesions because the larynx gets pushed forward and its movement over the vertebral column do not occur. Indirect laryngoscopy. First, the whole procedure is explained to the patient. The mirror side of the indirect laryngoscopy mirror is warmed and tested on examiner's hand for heat and held like a pen in the right hand. Alternatively, the mirror can be dipped in Savlon or rubbed against the buccal mucosa to prevent fogging. The patient is asked to open his mouth, protrude his tongue. The anterior part of the tongue is held with left hand. The patient is asked to breathe gently through his mouth and place the warm surface of the indirect laryngoscopy mirror gently in the throat against the anterior surface of the uvula. Gracias indirect laryngoscopy mirror. Procedure of the indirect laryngoscopy. Structures seen on indirect laryngoscopy are epiglottis. Normally it is pinkish in color. Bright red swollen epiglottis is seen in acute epiglottitis. X-ray lateral view neck in this case shows thumb sign. Pale swollen epiglottis is seen in allergic laryngitis and turban shaped epiglottis is seen in tuberculosis of larynx. Vocal cords. Normally, they are pearly white in color. They are congested in acute laryngitis. Edema of vocal cords is seen in Rinke's edema of the Rinke space. Edge. Vocal nodules are seen at the junction of anterior one-third and posterior two-third surface. Observe for cyst, ulcer, or leukoplakic patch or granulations. The malignant growth can be present anywhere in the vocal cord and requires its removal and histopathological examination. Any solitary nodule can be a solitary papilloma. Positions of the vocal cord: median during phonation, paramedian 1.5 millimeters from the midline during strong whisper, cadaveric 3.5 millimeters from the midline occur after death or in complete vocal cord paralysis, that is vagal nerve paralysis. Moderate abduction 7 millimeters from the midline in quiet respiration and full abduction 9.5 millimeters from the midline in deep inspiration. Arytenoid and aryepiglottic folds are seen. Enter the arytenoid area. Congestion of this area occurs in tuberculosis of larynx and laryngopharyngeal reflux disease. Glottic chink is reduced in vocal cord paralysis or any malignant growth. Post-cricoid area and piriform fossa. Any growth in this area with absent laryngeal crepitus is suggestive of malignancy. Pooling of saliva in both piriform sinus, Jackson sign, is suspicious of post-cricoid malignancy. The barium swallow of such patients show filling defect in piriform fossa or at esophagus. Laryngeal hyperkeratosis. Definition. It is an inflammatory condition of the epithelium of vocal cords due to chronic hyperplasia or hyperkeratosis of the laryngeal mucosa with the resultant hyperplasia of vocal cord epithelium. The appearance of white plaques which can be confluent or patchy. Often this terminology is interchangeable with the term leukoplakia. Leukoplakia is a Greek word for white plaque that cannot be easily scraped off. A histological diagnosis is mandatory to rule out the neoplasia or dysplasia. This condition is notorious for recurrence. To the naked eye, these lesions, when illuminated with white light in vivo, appear white, hence the term leukoplakia laryngitis, as first described by Pierce in 1920. The visible white characteristic is usually a feature of keratin production from the cells in the lesion, and this can be associated with a number of benign, pre-malignant, and malignant disease states, including hyperplasia with or without keratosis, squamous metaplasia, dysplasia, carcinoma in situ, and invasive squamous cell carcinoma in the larynx. Klesner described the first systematic classification for precancerous dysplastic lesions of the larynx. Class 1, simple squamous hyperplasia. Class 2, hyperplasia with atypia. Class 3, carcinoma in situ. The two main systems used in recent years to define laryngeal premalignancy are the WHO classification and Lajublajan classification of epithelial hyperplastic laryngeal lesions. WHO classification is universally accepted. WHO classification defines dysplasia into four categories. Squamous cell hyperplasia, increased cell numbers in the basal layers of the epithelium, but architecture showing a regular stratification with no cellular atypia. Mild dysplasia, architectural disturbance in the epithelium limited to lower third and some cytological atypia. Moderate dysplasia, architectural disturbance extending to the middle third of the epithelium with more marked nuclear atypia than mild dysplasia and prominent nucleoli of the cells but no abnormal mitosis. Severe dysplasia greater than two-thirds of the epithelium showing architectural disturbance with associated cytological atypia, marked nuclear abnormalities, and loss of maturation of cells, nuclear polymorphism, and mitosis, often atypical and high up in the epithelium. Carcinoma in situ, almost full thickness architectural abnormalities with pronounced cytological atypia, atypical mitotic figures, and abnormal superficial mitosis. Etiology. Exact etiology is unknown. It may have association with smoking, alcohol, reflux like LPR or GERD. Clinical features. Predominant symptom is hoarseness of voice. Oral cavity, mouth opening is adequate. Lips, gums, gingivobuccal sulcus, teeth, flora of mouth, buccal mucosa, hard palate, and anterior two-thirds of the tongue all are normal. Oropharynx, bilateral base of the tongue, uvula, soft palate, anterior pillar, tonsils, posterior pharyngeal wall, all are normal. Nose, nasal septum is normal bilaterally, nasal mucosa is normal bilaterally, nasal vestibule is normal bilaterally, nasal turbinates are normal bilaterally, and TNS tenderness is not present. Neck, no swelling and cervical lymphadenopathy is seen in neck. Ear, bilateral tympanic membranes are intact. Preauricular region is normal bilaterally. Postauricular region is normal bilaterally. External auditory canal is normal bilaterally. Tympanic membrane is normal bilaterally. Renes is positive bilaterally. Weber's is lateralized to both the sides. Absolute bone conduction test is positive bilaterally. And seventh cranial nerve is normal bilaterally. Provisional diagnosis, leukoplakic patch on the pre and superior surface of the left vocal cord. Investigations, routine blood investigations, fiber optic or 70 degrees Hopkins rod laryngoscopy, HRCT chest, COVID-19 RT-PCR, chest X-ray, PA view. Management. Currently employed management strategies, namely CO2 laser excision, radiotherapy, vocal cord stripping to a lesser extent, and watchful waiting. Management is by suspension, microlaryngoscopy, and surgical excision for histology, microlaryngeal surgery, and biopsy. The condition is precancerous, hence biopsy is required. However, the treatment should be conservative surgical approach to improve or maintain the voice. Future horizons. With the development of newer imaging modalities, classification of dysplastic laryngeal lesions can be expected to evolve further still in coming years as though these tools are validated against the present gold standard histopathology. This will facilitate targeted screening of laryngeal lesions for high grades of dysplasia and carcinoma, as well as facilitate real-time intraoperative delineation of tumor pre-surgical resection margins, making frozen tissue sections obsolete. This will lead to reduced healthcare expenditure through targeted larynx screening and earlier, more resource efficient and precise interventions, particularly in the high risk patient groups. Instruments in microlaryngeal surgery, Klinsner suspension laryngoscope for MLS, Klinsner anterior commissurer opening operating laryngoscope, Ricker chest piece and jack for MLS, laryngeal cupped forceps, laryngeal straight scissors for MLS. Questions and answers. What are the different types of stridor asked by Dr. Almas? Inspiratory stridor is because of obstruction from larynx and pharynx. Expiratory stridor in prolonged expiratory phases are because of bronchial and lower tracheal obstruction. Biphasic stridor is because of obstruction at the level of cervical trachea. What are the clinical features of laryngopharyngeal reflux? Asked by Dr. Praveen. Chronic hoarseness of voice, cough, frequent throat cleaning, throat irritation, sensation of mucus and lump in the throat, and increased effort with swallowing. What is Bryce's sign? Asked by Dr. Beban. It is gurgling sound produced on pressing the swelling of laryngosele. Why is left vocal cord palsy more common as compared to the right? Asked by Dr. Bhargavi. Left vocal cord palsy is twice more common than right vocal cord palsy due to intrathoracic course of the left recurrent laryngeal nerve. What is Siemens' law? Asked by Dr. Monica. It states that in all progressive organic lesions, abductor fibers of the nerve, which are phylogenetically newer, are more susceptible than adductor fibers that are phylogenetically older. So, abductor are first to be affected, hence vocal cord paralyzed. What is Tourette's syndrome? Asked by Dr. Arushi. This tic disorder is characterized by involuntary vocalization of articulate words or inarticulate sounds. It may be associated with multiple tics of several body parts. Lingual tics present as hisses and nasal tics as sniffs and snorts. Treatment of choice for verrucous carcinoma of larynx, asked by Dr. Nishan. In in the verrucous carcinoma of larynx, determination of treatment options should be dictated by voice preservation strategies. Surgery remains the gold standard of treatment. However, concomitant radiochemotherapy emerges as an attractive alternative to mutilating surgical procedures. What are the paralinguistic features of voice and speech? Asked by Dr. Manan. The paralinguistic features of voice and speech are speech rhythm, stress, accent, and vocal intonation. They indicate the education, social status, emotional state, and personality of the speaker. Thank you very much.